want to keep the way. People are falling away. People are getting into mess. They're falling into traps. The world has whole families, whole generations, and the ones coming locked up because some of us did not keep the way. If we're going to establish generational family success, walking with God, it begins by building you. Somebody say me. It begins by you building an intimate relationship with God. When we used to be in vacation Bible school, we used to sing a song when we was kids, and they say, you can't get to heaven on a paper plate, because a paper plate won't hold much weight. Oh, you can't get to heaven on a paper plate, because a paper plate won't hold much weight. You remember that? Then part of the song used to say, you can't get to heaven in Bishop's car, because Bishop's car won't go that far. Oh, you can't get to heaven in Bishop's car, because Bishop's car won't go that far. You know you can't get to heaven on somebody else's relationship. You can't get to heaven because your wife prayed. You can't get to heaven because my mama knew the Lord. Well, what about you? Hear what I'm trying to say. I'm speaking to all the young people. You can't get to heaven on somebody else's relationship with God. I used to be, as the youth pastor, I don't know how many times as I was teaching about walking right with God, how many of the kids would then raise their hand and say, Brother Mike, my mama, she don't do like you talking about. Oh, they told on you. That's right. They did. I had one guy came and he said, and he didn't say this in front of everybody, but he came up to me. He said, Brother Mike, you think my mama saved, don't you? Oh, yeah, that's what he told me. He said, Brother Mike, you think my mama saved, don't you? And I was like, I was trying to figure, where is this going? I said, yeah. He said, if my mama saved, I don't know what saved is. He's a teenager. He said, my mama cusses me out all the time. And I said, you mean she fussed you out? No. And then he wanted to start saying some of the cuss words. I said, well, okay, I got you. He said, you know what? That's my mama do? He said, I done seen men coming in and out of my mama's house, and they wake up in the morning, they still there. And he said, she gonna tell me he slept on the couch. No, he didn't. That's your uncle. No, he ain't. Say hi to Uncle Jim Bob. That ain't my uncle. Oh, y'all don't like this? Y'all mad at me? What am I saying? You want your children to grow up in God, and then you can't just teach them. You gotta show them. And if many of us would be honest, you would be honest and say you showed them some stuff that they shouldn't have seen. They heard you running people down. They heard you talk about leadership. They heard you talk about the church. So when you say, oh, church hurt, you might want to start with yourself, because you hurt your kid. By the way you walk before them, by the way you live before them. You know your kids ain't silly. You know your kids ain't dumb. Or maybe the sisters picked us up, because I think Daddy's car was there. But Daddy was sitting in the front seat. And there was a sister that sat in the back. And while we was driving, she said, Michael, your hair look nice. And I looked over and said, wait a minute, what you talking about? I didn't say nothing, I just looked. Then she reached up front and started playing with his hair. And I thought to myself, at 7, that seems inappropriate. So later on, we was at home, and Mama asked me, in front of Daddy and everybody, Mama asked me, she said, Michael, you enjoy yourself with your daddy? I said, yeah, I had a good time. She said, anything event? I said, well, there was this lady that was playing with Daddy's hair. And he said, I said, I think she like him. And then it was like, what the world? Like he forgotten all about it. He was like, what? And I said, yeah. And Mama said, oh, really? Who was she, Michael? I said, I don't know her name, but you know that lady that sits over and on that side? I'll show you on Sunday. I'll tell you what it is. What am I saying? Your kids are watching you. They know the difference between what you say and what you actually do. They see when you slipping and sliding and messing up. They watch you talk about people and they wonder in their mind, that's Christ-like? Yeah, I know that was gonna hurt. My kids all had godmothers and fathers and stuff, and one of them was a little bit upset, because they said, hey, can we keep so and so? And I said, well, no. And they was like, well, I said, my child is a baby and not quite able yet to tell me what happened and what went on. So and if it was just about you, if it was just you, I would trust you. But you got kids in your house. And I said, so I'm sorry, but no. Didn't mean no harm, but it's my job to protect my child. Some of us, we've set our children in front of the TV. I think I had somebody was telling me, I can't remember who it was, told me something yesterday. Said they walked in and watched the children was looking at something. And what was the name of that show? You remember they was telling me? Some show they were, somebody told me that. I can't remember who it was, but basically said it was Vicky. Vicky, what'd you say that was? What show was that? Ho-Ho, Coco. Said she walked in and they was watching Coco and talking about the how to go to the dead and serve the dead and it's like when my mother walked in and saw us watching Thundercats and I went back recently and watched the Thundercat and I said, my God, don't play with me. Y'all act like y'all don't know what Thundercats is. And if you go back at the beginning, the little demon guy comes up from the grave. The devil is so nasty. He's coming after your kids, and you are the one who gave him the tool. You gave your child one of the most powerful tools in the world. You gave him a phone that was a smartphone, and you might as well call it an evil phone because all kind of stuff is on there, and you not even bothering to check. You didn't put no checks on the thing. You didn't put no permission thing. They sending them pornography and your kid is ate up and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. My kid don't look at porno. You don't know what they do. I was watching a TV show, they was talking about, they set up a little thing, and they brought some kids in, they brought these parents, and they said, what do you think your kid would do if they found a gun sitting on the desk somewhere? And they said, oh, my kid would walk away from it. Oh, my kid would turn it in. My kid, and then each parent watched their kid walk right over to it, play with it, and shoot it. And they brought another group of parents and they said, what would your child do if a stranger comes up to him and tries to get him to go, oh, my child wouldn't do nothing. I done taught them better than that. They wouldn't do nothing. And they watched each child come in and with some candy or a dog or something, each child walked away. And you think you know your child, but we're not spending enough time with our kids. He said, talk with your children daily concerning God's way in your home. So your home should be an atmosphere of salvation. They should speak Jesus Christ, and they should know Jesus Christ. They should talk about Jesus Christ. I love when I see coming to somebody's house and their kids are playing church. They on there playing church. Somebody the preacher, somebody the singer, somebody's the choir, somebody's directing. How many of y'all played church when y'all was kids? And look where you are right now. Right? Now you are the singers. Now you are the preachers. Now you are the ministers. Now you are the ones that serve the church. Some of y'all practiced ushering when you was a little kid. Now you it now. But you know what I see now? We teaching them how to Tootsie Roll now. What's some of the new dances? I can't know that. Come on. They teach them how to twerk now. And what they call it now? They dug in and say, I see old people telling me stuff. Young people, what's the new dances? Huh? They teach them how to floss now. And somebody told me yesterday, my sons was getting on me because I said something about in the message on Friday, I said something about percolating. And he said, oh, Lord, please don't say percolating. Some of y'all know what that is, don't you? I didn't know. I was talking about the coffee percolating. He said, no, that's a dance. It's nasty. But I see the kids doing things and the parents celebrating evil. Look at little Johnny. Little Johnny doing all kind of stuff. Little Susie doing all kind of. Listen, oh my God, I wasn't planning on walking down this way, but y'all not giving up amen. Sorry. I watch kids, little girls, 4, 5-year-olds, dressed like little hoochie mamas. Why are you trying to make her look grown? He said, you got to teach them in your home what's right. See, many people have thought, I'm going to bring my kids to church and the church will get them saved. Wrong. I'm telling you, that is completely wrong. The church has your child 1 or 2 hours in a week. All the church was supposed to be is a supplement. Somebody say supplement. It's supposed to be a supplement to what you are doing daily in your home. I didn't learn the Bible. I learned a few things in the Bible from church. I learned most of it at home because my mama taught us. My daddy taught us. In my family, I remember when Dad initiated the circle prayer. All right, we was little, and he called the circle prayer together, and we was like, oh, come on, Daddy. Blah, 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 blah. And he was like, then we grabbed hold, and he said, all right, we're going to start praying in the morning. So we pray in the morning. Then he called us at night. Everybody get in here. Come on, Daddy, we got to pray. But then after a while, it just became what we did. We prayed in the morning. We prayed in the evening time. And some of us, you haven't even established prayer in your family. Oh, I know I'm hitting good right now. Look at your neighbor and say, he's talking good. Some of you that are getting ready to start a family, some of you young people, you got to do it better than you was taught. Each of us, there's all kind of mess in this world. Your kids got more options than you ever dreamed of to get in some foolishness. But your word is powerful. Come on, look at your neighbor and say, your word is powerful. And what you establish in your home gets established in the family. So when you say, in our house, we won't do drugs. And what happens is, in your house, drugs will begin to cease in your family. In my house, we won't drink. All right? We don't take any alcohol. Then in your family, if you establish it, what happens is all the drunkenness will stop in your family. Drug addiction will cease. Hear what I'm saying? In my house, we all gonna serve the Lord. All right? And then they watch you serve God, and everything you do is about serving God. And then what happens is everybody from generation to generation in your family begins to serve God. I want to just speak to you and tell you, you need to teach your family about the way. Let's stand, everybody. I'm finished. Take your neighbor's hand and tell them, keep the way. No, you still didn't do it. Turn to that neighbor, get another neighbor, tell them, keep the way. Turn to another neighbor and tell him, Jesus is the way. Jesus is the way.